Unfortunately, reports of missing children aren't that uncommon. Between runaways, breakdowns in communication, or kids just staying out past their curfews, there are far more reports than actual cases. But from the very beginning,
the first call that I got about this was from the team division captain.
This case was different.
And his first words almost were, "This one feels legitimate."
Saturday morning, April 21st, the father of Isabel Celis realizes his 6-year-old daughter is not in her bedroom. He says he put her to bed at 11 p.m. the night before, but when the family gets up at 8 the next morning, little Isabel is gone, and 911 is called immediately. Within the hour, investigators converge on the family's Midtown home. At first glance, it appears somebody had removed the screen from Isabel's bedroom window, a window only about 20 feet away from the house next door.
It's directly right over this wall. Right there, and that's her bedroom window. Yeah, that large window.
Did you know that was her bedroom window before this all happened?
No, I didn't.
What Alicia Stardivant does know is that she heard men's voices around 6:30 that Saturday morning. The sun was already up, so she didn't really think anything of it. That is until Isabel's uncle frantically pounded on her door about an hour and a half later.
He asked me if I'd seen a little girl around here, and I said no, and then he told me that his niece was missing. Didn't hear her. I heard, a couple male voices right outside my bedroom window, right outside her bedroom window. And, but I didn't hear a struggle, there was no fighting, and I think, she was just taken by someone she knew.
It was around that time that we first started hearing about a possible abduction, as national media and the Centers for Missing and Exploited Children set their sights on Tucson. Later that afternoon, upwards of 250 officers saturated the neighborhood near Broadway and Craycroft. Within 24 hours, FBI search dogs were flown in from Virginia, and 24 hours after that, behavioral analysts from the FBI arrived to observe the missing girl's family. During this time, Tucson police extended their search to Los Reales landfill. For 2 days, investigators sifted through trash and debris, looking for anything that could be associated with the girl's disappearance. Through bone-dry conditions and temperatures approaching 100 degrees, authorities found nothing. That's a synopsis of the first 72 hours. Since then, we've seen more than 1,000 tips come in and some $50,000 generated in reward money. Go to any store or restaurant in Tucson and you're bound to hear an opinion.
I have heard, speculations on that the family is involved with drugs, the cartel.
We've been examining every possibility, whether it be extended family members, friends.
But that doesn't change the fact investigators are still looking for that major break in the case. Regardless of all the theories and speculation, this all boils down to a 9-hour window between that Friday night and the following Saturday morning. What exactly took place here that night? And did it involve somebody from inside or outside of this house? That essentially is the million-dollar question. Who is responsible for the disappearance of Isabel Celis? Was it an intruder who snatched up the little girl and took her away? Or was it a member of her own family, as we asked her parents in an interview just last week?
I really don't know what to answer to that, because other than you're wrong.
Say what you want to say, but in the end, we are confident we had nothing to do with it, and go ahead, go for it. And the people who know us, who have known us as a family, know us and know that we have nothing to do with this.
We asked a nationally renowned body language expert what he took away from the Celis' response.
That's a little bit of an inconsistency as to what we would expect to see.
Aaron Brehove is a senior instructor with the Body Language Institute in Washington, D.C. His background is in detecting deception. He says Becky Celis' use of language was rather peculiar when she said she's confident her family had nothing to do with Isabel's disappearance.
Instead of saying we're confident that you had nothing to do with it, I would expect her to say we had nothing to do with it.
Tucson Police Chief Roberto Villasenor wouldn't discuss specifics about what the Celises had to say, but he did tell us his agency, the FBI, and U.S. Marshals have made significant progress over the last 20 days.
The reality of the situation is that we still could go a couple of different ways with this investigation.
When you consider all that's happened over the last 3 weeks, all the time and energy and resources invested into this case, this is very big news. Investigators narrowing everything down to a couple of working premises. And even though the chief is very measured in what he has to say, this is the first time he's really suggested a possible tipping point in the Isabel Celis case.
And the detectives who've been working it have gone back over interviews. They've talked to people several times. They just need that one break that's going to tie the things together that they're suspecting.